We're famous artists. Yes, famous artists.
Paul Gauguin.
Edward Hubbard.
And Van Gogh.
Oh! Pablo Picasso.
I thought so.
Goya.
Hawaii.
We're definitely people you should know. Sandro Botticelli, Michelangelo, Paul Klee. The names just keep on coming and we haven't got all day.
We're famous artists.
Renoir.
Famous artists.
Au revoir. Monet, Da Vinci, Peter Bruegel.
Don't pinch me.
Some people think we're geniuses. Some people think we're weird.
Weird?
What do you mean?
Weird is a relative term.
Toulouse-Lautrec, Marie Cassatt. And please don't touch my beard. Andy Warhol, Jacob Lawrence, Jackson Pollock too.
I'm afraid we have to go now.
So we'll just say toodaloo.
And if you think we're slightly nuts, that may be slightly true. But that, my fine young viewer, will leave up to you.
Hello, I'm Vincent van Gogh, one of the most tragic artists who ever lived. That means nothing ever seemed to go right for me, and I wasn't very happy most of the time. Look, I never even smiled in my own self-portraits. Even though I was poor and often depressed a lot, I did have a certain love for life. It came out in my bold, colorful paintings, see? When I'm painting, things seemed a lot better for me. No matter what I was painting, I put all my feelings into my work. I loved to paint farm fields, sunny sunflowers, myself, chairs. I loved painting everything. Wow, this is beautiful. Don't touch anything. Where's my paints and brushes? I found beautiful colors and shapes that interest me everywhere I looked, even in a pair of old shoes. I was born in 1853 in Groot Zundert, a village in the Netherlands, which is also known as Holland. Unlike most artists, I didn't decide to become a painter until I was all grown up. I tried lots of other things first. This is me when I started working in an art gallery selling paintings for a while. My uncles were art dealers. They helped me and my brother Theo to get jobs with their company. But I was never very happy there.
You call this a good painting? My 5-year-old could do better than that. Yuck!
This isn't making me happy. Then I tried teaching. This isn't making me happy either. I also worked in a bookstore.
No, I said that one, young man. Can't you hear?
This definitely isn't making me happy. Then I thought I'd try being a minister or a preacher like my dad. I especially liked the idea of helping poor, unfortunate people. It was during this time that one day I decided to be an artist. I think I'll be an artist. That might make me happy. Well, it wasn't quite that simple. At the same time I was studying to be a minister, I decided to help and live with the poorest and hardest working people I could find. I never took the easy way out. These people were miners who worked all day long in the worst conditions. I wanted to live a hard life, just like these people, so they would trust me and I could teach them the Word of God and give them hope. I would often go down into the mines with them. I ate their food and dressed like them too. I even gave away everything I owned. Everything I own is yours, even my rubber duck.
No strings attached?
Nope, no strings attached. Oh. I started drawing pictures of these hardworking people in the letters I sent to my brother Theo. I like the early artworks I made. In them, you can see certain things that show up later in my famous paintings, like the strong lines and shapes and the feelings I had for everyday people. Finally, at the age of 27, I made up my mind to be an artist. Just like everything, I tried to be the very best at what I did. I went to different art schools to learn as much as I could about drawing and painting. My first serious drawings and paintings were also of the poor people I cared so much about. In this painting, the family I showed was so poor they only had a few potatoes to eat for dinner. They looked tired and not very happy. The colors in my early paintings are dark and sad. I hoped these paintings would touch people and give them an idea of how hard the lives of the poor peasants really were. I kept using dark colors until I discovered some very colorful Japanese artwork one day. Wow, I wonder what this bright stuff is.
It's called yellow, blue, red, and orange.
I loved the bright colors and strong lines and shapes I saw. Soon, I wanted my own paintings to look more colorful. Look at the difference between the gloomy potato eaters here on this painting, which was done only 3 years later. I discovered those colorful Japanese prints in Paris when I went there to live with my younger brother Theo. Theo had become a successful art dealer. Without him, I don't know what I would have done. He was always helping me. He encouraged me to paint and gave me money when he could.
Here, go paint.
Thanks. Paris was a pretty good place for me to be. It was the center of the art world then. Theo introduced me to a lot of painters while we lived in Paris.
Vincent, I'd like you to meet Toulouse-Lautrec, Émile Bernard, Camille Pissarro, Georges Seurat, Paul Signac, and Paul Gauguin.
Bonjour. Hello.
Hello!
Hello.
Hello.
Hello!
Hello.
Bonjour.
Good to meet you!
Bienvenue.
Hello.
Comment ça va?
Gee, Theo, I was hoping to meet somebody famous.
Huh?
Hardly anyone knew it then, but many of those painters would become world-famous artists someday. I ended up learning a lot from these artists. We would get together at cafes around Paris and talk for hours about art. I kept showing my paintings in exhibitions too, but nothing ever sold. After a while, I became discouraged and tired of Paris. I thought I might try working in a quieter, more peaceful area in the south of France. I ended up in the town of Arles. I loved the hot sun and farm fields I found there. I started spending all day from sunrise to sunset, painting the fields and flowers and the people I met in Arles. I was working harder than ever now. I did hundreds of paintings and drawings, and I just couldn't stop. I put my paint on really thick. Sometimes I worked so fast I didn't even mix my colors. I just used to paint right out of the tube. I used so much paint, I was always running out. Sometimes I stopped buying food in order to afford more paint. I was poor, hungry, and cranky a lot of the time. Not very healthy, but I was too excited to care. I'd like to order some lemon yellow, pea green, cherry red, and I'll have an orange for dessert. While I was in Arles, I kept in touch with Theo by writing him tons of letters. I told him all about my ideas and hopes and how I was doing with my art.
Who's it from, dear?
It's another letter from Vincent. He says he's not feeling very well, nobody likes him, his room doesn't have any heat, he has a toothache, and I should send him money as soon as possible. Sounds like he's doing much better.
Because I was always sending and receiving letters, I got to know my postman pretty well. Good morning, Roulin.
Good morning, Vincent.
So I painted lots of pictures of him. One of my big ideas I told Theo about was to set up a place in Arles for artists, to get together and paint and talk about their different ideas. I tried to get as many artists as I could to join me. The only one to try it out, though, was Paul Gauguin. And he wasn't really crazy about the idea. It turned out to be a big mistake. Gauguin didn't seem to like anything I did in Arles. He was almost as cranky as I was. They ended up arguing a lot.
Your cooking is terrible. Your paintings are terrible. I'm a better artist than you are. I wish I never came here. Worst of all, you never pick anything up. This place is a mess.
You are such a grouch. I did decide to listen to Gauguin about cleaning the place up, though. This is a painting of my bedroom. Looks pretty neat, huh? Finally, after a very bad argument, Gauguin decided to leave and return to Paris.
I've had it with you, Vincent. That was my tube of toothpaste. Aside from everything else I can't stand about you, you're a nut.
Go ahead, Gauguin! Leave! Who cares? Darn. I didn't know what to do. I really wanted things to work out well with Gauguin. I always had problems during my life with the way I felt. Sometimes I would get so angry and upset no one could make me feel better. This time, I became so angry and upset, I cut off part of my ear. I painted pictures of myself after this happened. It looks like I wished I hadn't done it, but I had. I knew I was in big trouble at this time. With the help of Theo, we arranged for me to stay at a nearby asylum. I could paint and get help controlling my feelings from the excellent doctors there. Sometimes I was too angry to paint, and sometimes I was just too sad. But when I felt good, I think I painted better than ever. I made the stars in starry night seem like they're really shining and swirling in the heavens, the way I would see them in my dreams. The incredible power of nature is going about its business, while people in the small village below are getting ready for a nice, peaceful sleep. I made the trees in this painting look like flames, and it feels like the whole picture's moving. I made the sun in my paintings look really hot. You almost feel like you should put sunglasses on to look at them.
Excuse me, do you folks need a sunblock? Maybe a nice lemon slush?
No thanks.
I'll have a slush.
Alrighty then.
Unfortunately, I wasn't getting any better at the asylum. I guess there were too many things I just couldn't deal with throughout my life. For instance, every time I fell in love with someone, they didn't seem to care about me at all. I'll do anything if you marry me. I'll wash the dishes every night. I'll paint lots of pictures of you. I'll read you bedtime stories. Well, what do you say?
Oh, I'm sorry, Vincent. I just don't have the time with my stamp collecting and all.
Oh. Then there was a huge disappointment I had when nobody but Gauguin showed up for my big art colony idea. Okay, let's have a roll call. Toulouse-Lautrec, is Toulouse here? How about Pissarro? Camille Pissarro, are you here? Georges Seurat? Émile Bernard? Monet? Everyone thought I was nuts, too.
It's that mad Dutchman!
Get inside!
Don't let him see you.
Save your children!
Get everybody out!
That didn't help either. Then there was the fact that I hardly sold any of my paintings. Maybe one or two, and a few drawings. I never knew if I was a good artist or not, or if I was just wasting my time.
Vincent, guess what? You finally sold a painting.
Ooh, great news. One painting out of 800. Maybe I have a future in this after all. Maybe now I can afford a popsicle. I guess people just weren't interested in my bright, moving pictures. In May of 1890, I decided to leave the asylum. Theo and I both knew I needed someone to look after me. I found a good doctor in a town outside of Paris. Dr. Gachet was a part-time artist, and we became friends. He tried different medications to help me, but nothing seemed to work, except when I did my paintings. Actually, I think my last works of art were some of my best. Depending on how I was feeling, my paintings could appear calm and peaceful, or filled with scary skies, roads that lead to dark backgrounds, and crows that look like bats. Today, most of my paintings are in museums all over the world. I hope you get a chance to see one someday. It's fun to see how thick I put my paint on and how bright my colors are. I always tried to make my paintings seem alive with color. Sometimes they're so bright and beautiful, you can almost smell the flowers I painted. Or feel the bright sun. My brushstrokes give everything a feeling of movement. Trees, stars, and people feel alive. Well, goodbye for now. It was nice getting to know you.
Ahem. Vincent, you left something out.
You know I don't like to talk about it, Theo.
It's an important part of the story. And besides, if you don't tell them, I will.
Okay. One day, after painting a picture, I became so angry and depressed I shot myself. There, I said it.
And?
Whew. And I died 2 days later. Okay, I'm done. I'm out of here. Goodbye!
It's too bad they didn't have today's medications during Vincent's time. Maybe he would have been able to control his anger and feel better about his life.
Yeah, just my luck.
My brother's death was a terrible loss, but something wonderful did come out of his life. Vincent van Gogh left the world hundreds of the most beautiful paintings for people to enjoy forever.